folks, John here from Bitty Comics Quest, and as you can see, I'm not in my normal recording space. This is a little bit like that video where Hebreek, or actually Euphoria 2, came out a couple weeks ago. I was at work and I just ran to my office on my lunch break and made a video about it because I was so excited. Now, there was a Nintendo Direct earlier today, and I kind of had the same reaction, but not to a new game or a remake, but actually to one of the games that Nintendo is releasing via their online service, Nintendo Switch Online. Now, a lot of times it takes forever for them to update that and add games to it. They don't do it nearly enough. But today, they dropped several games from one of my favorite video game developers, and that is Rare. And I don't mean Rare games as in, like, they're hard to find. I mean Rare, like the company that made, like, Banjo-Kazooie and all those sorts of things. So that was really exciting because Rare is actually owned by Microsoft now, so there's probably some sort of licensing thing they have got to deal with and stuff like that. So it's exciting to see new Rare games coming out on the Nintendo Switch Online. Some of those included like Battletoads for the SNES. Battletoads is pretty infamous. I think most people know what that is. RC Pro-Am, which was a really fun racer. Killer Instinct, which is a 2D fighter, which again, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people know about. If you don't know Killer Instinct though, and you like 2D fighters, it's definitely a fun game. But the one that I was most excited about was one that it holds a special place for me. And for those that have been watching the channel for a while, you'll probably know exactly what I'm gonna say here, but that is Snake Rattle and Roll. Now, this game was the first game I ever received when I got my NES at Christmas, when I think it was like 4 years old. It came with Snake Rattle and Roll and Bubble Bobble, both of which are amazing games, but this one specifically holds a special place in my heart because it's just one of my absolute favorite games of all time. It's got a ton of character to it, and actually, if you watched my my 2017 Switch games video from a couple weeks ago, I actually did mention Snake Rattle and Roll briefly when I was talking about Snake Pass, and so, which by the way, ever since I made that video, I've been playing Snake Pass a lot, which is the first time I played that in like years. But actually, that's a really fun game, and I forgot how much fun it was until I made that video. But anyway, Snake Rattle and Roll was a huge influence for Snake Pass. A lot of the UI design elements and everything, a lot of those were really inspired by Snake Rattle and Roll, and it's one of those games that I don't hear talked about very often, like at all. And I think that's an absolute shame because it's a really, really, really cool game for the NES. It's an isometric platformer where you're basically a snake and you have to go around eating these little spheres that pop out of this little machine in each level. And then there's all these weird enemies, like for instance, there's flying records that are just kind of bouncing around and you've got to avoid them, like records, like music records, like vinyl. They really leaned into the Rattle and Roll theme. It's very rock and roll themed. Bigfoot is an enemy, and by Bigfoot I don't mean like the abominable snowman. I mean it's literally a big foot that's just disembodied and hopping around, and it'll smash you flat. It's a very weird game, right? It's a very weird game, but a very fun game, and actually gets really, really hard at the end. The last level of this game is nearly impossible. I learned it for a speed run one time, and I got one run done, and then I said, you know what? I'm never speedrunning this game again because that last level is awful, and it kind of drains the fun out of the rest of the game. So if you get to the last level and you can't beat it, don't worry, you're not alone. That said, until that point, this game is really, really fun and really, really cool. And actually, if you're interested in a physical copy of it, this is my childhood copy. But if you're interested in a physical copy of it, it's actually pretty cheap. You can get this one pretty cheap. And I think it's a really good example of what Rare was doing even early on. Like, this was an early NES game for Rare. They hadn't made a lot of the ones that people really know at that point. You know, this was around the time they did like Captain Skyhawk and some of those other ones. And it really shows that kind of off-brand or off-kilter humor that Rare became known for was even alive and well, even really early on. So if you've never played Snake Rattle N Roll, man, get on that, because that's a really fun game. So I know that this announcement with all these Rare games, yeah, there's some in there that are way more well known than this, and I feel like Snake Rattle N Roll may get kind of swept under the rug. People may not really pay attention to it. I'm here to tell you, go ahead and play Snake Rattle N Roll. I mean, it's not one that you're probably going to play for hours at a time, but it's a really fun game where you can just do a run, see how far you get, and then put it away for a little bit and then come back later, because it's super easy to pick up and play, super fun, the music's super catchy, and it's just a really good game. So that's about it for this one. Like I said, this is one of my absolute favorite games, this one right here. And I just wanted to share it because I'm really excited that they brought it to the Switch online service, which is something that they really didn't have to do, but I'm really glad they did. So that'll about do it for this one. Actually, this is a quick video I'm just pumping out tonight just because it got announced today. There's another video on a homebrew called Full Quiet that's actually releasing tomorrow. So look forward to that as well. But until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff, and I'll see you guys next time.